guys, welcome back to this place. If you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen, and today we are continuing our For All Mankind journey with Season 1, Episode 2. Now, I really enjoyed the first episode of this show. I had almost no idea what to expect going in because I really didn't know what the show was about, except that it was science fiction and that, like, what I had seen on just like a poster for it, right? So I think it's a really cool concept to the what if of it all, right? To go back in time and to say, like, what if this had happened instead of this? What would be the repercussions? What would be the fallout? How would this change the course of history? And just sort of to postulate that and try to figure it out, I think is a really fun concept. So I'm very excited to get into it. I think that in the previous episode, I was very worried that my lack of awareness or lack of in-depth awareness, I should say, of the space program and the space race and all of that would be a hindrance. But considering the fact that we are in an alternate timeline where we've changed the course of history, I don't know that it necessarily will be, but I don't know. You guys can tell me going forward, I suppose. Calvin did let me know because I asked him about the Hubble that I mentioned in the post-episode discussion, and he was like, babe, that's the space telescope. What are you talking about? So I was thinking about the Mars rover. So I knew that we had, and there's others like Perseverance, Opportunity, XYZ, but that's what I was thinking of. I knew that we had landed an unmanned craft on Mars, but that was as far as my remembrance went. Anyway, all of that to say, I'm excited to get into episode 2. I hope you guys are also excited to get into episode 2. Without any further rambling by me, let's do it.
Engine arm on.
Okay, so the plan is to get them back to Columbia, but the margin for error is very small.
We're leveling out.
Okay, that's good.
The Eagle has wings.
I don't know why that makes me so emotional. I was just worried that, like, all of the celebration at the end of last episode was for fuck all. We're gonna bring them back home. He built the Saturn 4. Okay. Who? I'm assuming that's, or was it 5? Am I an idiot? I think it was 5. Okay, 2 months later. September 5th. So this answers my question. I think we are going to stay on this timeline and then just, like, maybe slowly go forward. I have had that happen before. It freaking sucks.
I'm never going back up, am I?
Not as long as Von Braun's director.
Von Braun. Okay.
I'm sorry, but you made your bed.
Tell us, what am I supposed to do? Just keep pushing paper?
There are worse things.
Yeah, I guess you know, wouldn't you?
Ooh.
Watch it, Ed.
I wouldn't test the one guy that's, like, on my side, you know? I wouldn't try to, like, shoo him off of my side. But like, if you're a pilot and you've been to freaking outer space, you're not going to want to sit behind a desk in, like, a little dark room. I mean, most people don't want to sit behind a desk in a little dark room anyway, like, right? I had a cubicle job. Didn't love it. Who's gonna pay for that? You're just gonna move that board in front of it and pretend you didn't do that?
This is the new front in the Cold War. If the Soviets are going to build a lunar military outpost up there, the president wants one too, and he wants it first.
He can't be serious.
Frankly, I've never seen him more serious. We're talking a major realignment of priorities here.
They want
We
to
may have
build
lost the moon, but we can
military
still win the race for the base.
station and
Race for the
base.
base?
Oh, now we're
Catchy, right?
not really.
Your testimony before the committee is a perfect time to unveil NASA's new strategy. Beginning with Apollo 12, we will be scouting for the location of a permanent military installation on the moon.
Absolutely not.
That is
We're a
stupid.
scientific program, not a playground for G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
This is a good thing.
It should be about scientific exploration, not expanding your military into fucking space.
What do you think, Deke?
Well, I could sure use the extra manpower, but I don't know. 12's flight is right around the corner.
Yeah, we may need to move that up a tad.
Move it up? I don't think you can
Thomas,
just
listen to me.
move trips to the moon up.
We cannot allow space to become another battlefield.
I agree
It
with
already is.
him.
If we don't respond in kind, we'll be sitting ducks.
I will not watch yet again as my work is defiled by men with guns.
This isn't Germany, Werner. Dick Nixon's been fighting communists for 30 years.
Okay, but
And a red moon isn't something our nation can accept.
Red moon, blue moon, green moon, enough with this nonsense.
have you ever heard that absolute power corrupts absolutely?
I heard about this interview of yours with Jean.
Ooh, an interview?
I was going to tell you. I just
Wanted to do it yourself. I know.
Interview for what?
You worry too much about what others might think, Margot.
Welcome to the club, girl.
So when are you going back up, Ed? 15, right?
Is that his dad?
Well, it's unclear at the moment. Sort of why I asked you to come grab a beer.
Oh, maybe it's his old
Thinking about maybe moving back Navy side.
commanding officer.
Yeah, right. Now, why on God's green earth would you want to do something like that? Pilots become astronauts, Ed, not the other way around.
Well,
Because he
the
got
only thing I was
benched.
flying lately is the desk.
Yeah.
This about that article.
Yeah, because he was dumb.
You always did have a way of pissing off your superior officers,
I can see that about him.
present company included. But you're also one of the best aviators I've ever seen.
One of.
Don't be a smart ass.
He's like offensive.
They
The
just
best.
about shit themselves though to get a guy like you back, especially now. We're making a big push in Vietnam. Could be
Oh.
the turning point in the war.
Oh shit.
And
I forgot
means
that was
commanding
happening
a
at this
squadron or-
Squadron? You'd probably get command of an entire air wing. And wait till you fly this new Phantom. Puts those Panthers we flew in Korea to shame. It's a fire-breathing beast, Ed.
I want him to stay with the space program. You know?
I'm sorry, Ed. It's just I can't. Ed, I can't get another phone call that your plane was shot down. I mean, every time
I
the
couldn't-
phone
I
rang,
couldn't
my,
do it.
My heart just fell.
I couldn't do
Could
it.
have been killed just as easily going up on time.
I mean, he's not wrong there.
Yeah, well, at least you weren't being shot at.
That's what I signed up for, Karen.
It's not what she signed up for.
No, Ed, it's what we signed up for.
Oh.
Remember? Oh my God, would you just
What?
cut that out? You're making a mess of me.
What was he doing? That's not how you felt that. I just put myself in her position and, like, I could not do that. Like, kudos to all of the military wives who do.
Yeah,
Oh, it's Gordo? What's he doing in Florida?
I'm really working this down here. You know I hate being away from you and the kiddos.
Yeah, clearly.
You tell Danny that I said,
Ooh. Ooh. I hope you... she heard that. Girl heard... Are you an idiot?
listen to his mom.
I mean, I'm glad
Yeah.
that...
Tell him I said that, hon.
Okay.
She heard, though.
Guess I'll see you soon.
Hey, Trace. I love you.
Nah. Nah, don't say that bullshit. That's bullshit. You don't cheat on someone you love. It's 1969 though. I don't even think that she can have a credit card yet. Like, what are her options? That's what's so fucking shitty about this.
Damn near pissed their pants during a rocky re-entry.
Well, sir, I don't wear pants.
I love her.
That is a fact.
So she wants to be an astronaut?
Dr. Von Braun sure thinks the world of you.
He knew her
How do you two
dad.
know each other?
I've known him most of my life, actually. My father, he taught at the university over in Huntsville. Dr. Von Braun would come over for dinners and regale us with stories about rockets to outer space, journeys to the moon, Mars. I'd never even been outside of Huntsville, but he
made
me
science
think
seem...
anything was possible.
Yeah.
He's the reason I became an engineer.
That's so cool. I don't know why it makes me emotional.
I'm sorry, am I rambling?
No, I like it.
It's nice. Tell me a bit more about yourself.
Yeah.
What do you do for fun?
She doesn't really do things for fun. She works.
Relax. Margot, it's not a test. Astronauts aren't the only ones allowed to have fun around here, but you are not exactly a spring chicken.
Okay.
I give you this job, you're not going to run off on me to start a family, are you?
I don't think kids are in the cards, sir.
Really? You don't want kids?
I mean, it's not that
She
I
doesn't
don't,
want them
it's
to
just-
use that against
right.
her.
Not every woman is cut out to be a mother.
Okay. That's not how we're going about this. Just because she doesn't want to be doesn't mean that she wouldn't make a great one. It's just she doesn't fucking want to be. I know. I need to understand. 1969. 1969. 1969. Thoughts and feelings of people in 1969. Sorry guys, I get heated. Like, that's such a sensitive topic today, women not wanting kids and people still treating it like this big taboo. She wants to be a scientist. She wants to go to friggin' space. Who is this man? Do I recognize him from being Aleda's dad or no? I think she's gonna be like an astronaut or something in the future.
Aleda, you need to stop doing this. It's dangerous. You know that.
Well, she's literally playing with fire.
Why do you do it? Talk to me.
She is grieving.
I know this is hard. I know. It's a new home, a new country.
It's a lot of adjustment
help each
for a
other.
kid. And her mom just died,
Déjame en paz.
you know?
She was in the room with him. Maybe some of you other wives can grin and bear it from the program, but fuck the program.
I'm with her.
Trace. Come here. I'm not saying our problems are the same, but that doesn't mean we don't have problems.
I mean, nobody's problems are the same, but we all have them, right?
Look me in the eye. Tell me you don't love him.
I don't know that makes it okay. You can love somebody and they can still not be what's best for you. Again, I understand it's a lot more complicated in this time period, but like, I don't agree with the do you love him? Like, I don't know that matters.
I am disappointed in you.
Why? What happened?
Yeah.
You've made me look very bad. I was second to the moon, and now you will be the first woman in mission control.
She got it? Yay! Aww.
I've had this for over 20 years, and now I would like you to have it.
What is it? I feel like it's important, but I don't understand.
I was hoping for cognac.
It's just like a ruler thing? I don't know.
Welcome to the trench, Ava Von Braun.
What? Why is it funny?
Smelling good, Trace? What you cooking?
Oh, it's just some casserole. Hands off, it's for the barbecue.
Barbecue? All right.
Is she just gonna pretend?
It's good to see you.
You too.
Ed?
Is that Neil or Buzz or...
Plotting your escape too?
I don't recognize which one it's supposed to be.
Something like that. Hell of a landing,
If you can call it that.
Neil, okay. So it's Armstrong.
Maintaining attitude control is no joke.
I bet.
Tell you the truth,
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't abort.
You pulled it off. It's a good call.
Easy to say that looking back. Couple things go different. We drift a little bit further into those rocks. We're smoking home. And I got my name on the biggest disaster in NASA history.
Why'd you go for it?
I don't know. You were in flight test. And every once in a while, you get to that point where part of your brain is saying, eject. But another part of your brain is saying, go for it. And you just have to make the call. And hope you're not wrong.
I know you're not happy. And I've spoken with the president. He's not happy either. He wants to make some big changes at the agency, and he needs your help.
Come on up to D.C. and tell my colleagues exactly what you told that reporter. That Von Braun is too cautious, that he cost us the moon.
That this is their plan to get him out? Using Ed to do it?
Look, I don't always see eye to eye with Von Braun, but I respect him. He built the Saturn V.
He built the Saturn V. That's
He's a great man.
the name of
Don't
this
get me
episode.
wrong.
So what do you say?
Say no, Ed. Say no. He wants to go back up, though. Shit, is he doing it? This looks like it's probably DC.
You were a naval test pilot. Were you not commander at Pax River?
I was, sir.
And when was playing it safe part of being a test pilot?
Never, sir.
But being an astronaut isn't being a test pilot.
But were it not for him, you would have been the first man to set foot on the moon, right?
It's not that simple, sir.
Ooh, I'm glad that he's not doing what they want.
I'm sorry?
He's not doing what they want.
Well, it's true Von Braun made the call on the ground, but
He aborted.
when we were up in lunar orbit, I knew I could bring the LIM safely down to the surface. All I had to do was hit engine arm, descent, let the burn run all the way to completion.
Except that wasn't your mission, Commander. Von Braun, you know, he made it very clear that that was not...
After launch, it's my ship to command.
Skipper.
What's happening?
If I would have said we can land, I knew Gene would have backed me. Just like he backed Neil on 11.
I keep wondering if he actually did land and they just didn't
Maybe
say.
a few seconds.
But I don't think that would be possible.
But I knew I could have flown her right down to the deck. But I pulled back. And it was my call. No one else's.
I'm proud of Ed. I'm proud of you. Proud of him. They won't be.
Hang on. Now, you said... Just hang on a minute. You said... Here, right here. You said We don't have guts at NASA anymore. That's why we lost the moon.
He's gonna say he was talking about
No,
himself.
what are you saying now? You're saying I could have landed, I just didn't?
I think about it every day, sir. Whether it was the right call or not. So if this committee is looking for someone to blame, don't look to Von Braun or Neil or anyone else. You look to me. I lost the moon.
I don't think it's his fault, but I'm glad that he took the heat because they were trying to push it off on Von Braun just because he said no to a military base on the moon. They're like, this is how we get him out. We turn public opinion against him, blame him for it. And Ed said, nah, fuck that. Fuck that guy with the glasses.
Did it ever even occur to you to ask me what I thought? Pushing the envelope, that's what all this is about. Or did you...
I don't trust your judgment,
right now,
Gordo.
You and me doing all these ticker tape parades. Instead, I'm backing up Pete Conrad on 12.
Don't blame every bad decision you've ever made on me. 'Cause you do enough damage yourself. What do you think it said?
Facts.
Wander in a sim an hour late, just reeking of booze and pussy.
That the American dream is alive and well.
I don't think that's the American dream.
Goddamn joke to you. At least I own what I did.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
Oh, you talking about?
I resigned. Going back to the Navy.
No, I don't want him to do that.
We cannot allow fear to drive us from our purpose. What we are seeking is the key to our future. We are expanding the mind of man, extending this God-given brain and these God-given hands to their outermost limits. And in so doing, everyone will reap the harvest.
He's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for someone who claims not to be guided by fear,
I wonder if they're going to get together.
leadership created a culture of caution after the Apollo 1 fire, right?
Yes, of course.
Well, why?
We're more cautious.
Why risk lives when you don't need to?
We retest and we prepare because unlike the Soviets, we care about the lives of our astronauts.
Yeah.
You must understand.
That's not a bad thing.
Congressman, that this is not the end of the race.
It's
just simply the first stage.
Yeah.
We must keep our eyes to the future. As Mr. Armstrong so aptly put it, we pick ourselves up and go back to work.
I was scared.
Well,
Ooh. Yep.
Just one more, I say, sorry, just one more thing, Director. You're such a familiar face to Americans. Honestly, I didn't know any better. I'd say you were born in Alabama.
Unfortunately, my accent gives me away, Congressman.
And most people know that during World War II, you built the German V-2 rocket that killed thousands of innocent Londoners.
He didn't want it to be turned into a weapon.
Why didn't you stop manufacturing it? Since until very recently it was classified as part of Operation Paperclip, is that you were also a member of the elite Nazi organization known as the SS.
Oh, shit.
That was a matter in which I had no choice.
Not everybody gets invited to a photo op with the Fuhrer.
He doesn't...
Dr. Von Braun, only a few minutes ago, you stated that we care about the lives of our astronauts.
Yes.
What about the lives of the workers from the Dora Mittelbau concentration camp that were in fact building your rockets? Do you care about their lives?
I saw no camp or any sort of thing like that.
You did visit the Mittelbau factory, yep, quite a few times.
I had only visited.
The camp was less than half a mile from the factory where you made your rockets. So, how could you not know? You know, over 20,000 men and women died building your V-2. 10 times more than were killed by
Okay, I can't look at that.
They paid for your scientific pursuits with their lives, sir. You knew exactly what was going on.
Did he?
Didn't you? And you did nothing.
I had no authority over it. I was limited. You must understand that
I don't know if he was like a real person, so I don't know. But like, it's really fucked up that they're using an actual horrific thing, that, you know, the fucking Holocaust, to saying like he doesn't care about people, which maybe he doesn't. Again, I don't know. But he seemed to be upset at the idea of his inventions being used to hurt people. And they're using that to get rid of him so that they can then build a military base on the moon to hurt people. Fucking hate everything.
Is it true?
I want to know too.
How can you ask me this?
You were a fucking SS officer. What do you mean? How can she ask you that? It's a valid fucking question.
I had to keep my work moving forward. You, of all people, must understand this.
At the cost of innocent lives?
What do you expect me to say? I don't know. Maybe I could have done more. But then I would probably be dead.
So?
And all the things I've spent my life building, they would never have come to pass.
Yeah, maybe some of those people would be fucking alive though.
Now I'm an old man and no longer indispensable. They throw me to the wolves.
Maybe you should have been thrown to the wolves a long time ago though.
You know.
Progress is never free, Margot.
That means yes. That means yes. That means he knew the whole time.
There's always a cost.
Okay, I don't fucking like you anymore, bitch. Human lives should not be an acceptable cost for progress. I'm sorry. That should be fucking obvious to anyone. People aren't collateral. Like, God, it pisses me off. That's my issue with the idea of the military outpost. Ooh. Girl. Oh my God, girl. Girl, you're gonna...
Aleida!
Put the fire out. Oh, thank God.
Aleida!
You had a dream of what your future could be. That's why we came here.
I think she will be an astronaut.
How you holding up?
Just fine. How's everybody at MSC?
This whole von Braun mess was a real black eye. And now Nixon's got us putting all hands on deck for this military lunar outpost.
So fucking stupid. Yeah. Dark days for real.
What can I do for you, Deke?
He wants you to come back.
I brought you something.
He wants you to come back.
Couldn't figure out what to do with the damn thing.
What is it? Oh. The plaque.
I almost threw it away when Leonov landed, but couldn't quite bring myself to.
Here, men from the planet Earth first set foot upon the moon. We came in peace for all mankind.
And peace. Peace. Military.
Presidents come and go, Ed. We're the ones carrying the fire.
Yep.
Took a lot of guts what you did up there in D.C.
Mm-hmm. It did.
I need guys like you around for what's coming down the pike.
Yep.
I'm not coming back to sit behind the desk.
Nope. That's not what he wants you to do.
You're not.
He wants you to be on the lunar base on
What exactly does that
the
mean?
moon.
Means you're back on Apollo 15.
Wait, you...
Ed, maybe just once, shut the fuck up. You're going
Great advice.
to the moon.
Great advice.
Yes, sir.
Yay. I like Ed.
Thank you, sir.
You better not make me regret it like they did with Von Braun.
Sorry, hun. Deke, you guys should come and see this.
What is it?
And even now, while Apollo 12 is hurtling towards the moon, the Soviets have upped the ante in the space race.
How?
Once again.
What the fuck did they do now?
The video is coming in now. There's the cosmonaut now, descending the ladder. There we have it. Cosmonaut is now on the lunar surface.
It's a woman?
It's a woman.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been confirmed that it's a woman. Her name is Anastasia Belikova, a former pilot in the Soviet Air Forces. What a truly, truly historic moment
She's
for
like
women watching across
motivated.
the world. 32-year-old Soviet cosmonaut has become the first woman to set foot on the moon.
She likes that. That's gonna be the end. Yeah. Okay, so maybe my lack of knowledge is going to be a hindrance because I did not know that Werner Braun was a real person. Again, I did not know that. I knew, and when they said Project Paperclip, I had not heard of Project Paperclip, but Project Paperclip was apparently when the United States got a bunch of, here, let me look it up actually again, because I don't want to word it incorrectly. So Operation Paperclip, secret United States intelligence program in which more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers, technicians were taken from the former Nazi Germany to U.S. for government employment after the end of World War II. So I know that, I didn't know it was called Operation Paperclip, but I have heard of that. Like, I know that it was a big controversial thing that happened because people felt that these people who had been doing horrific things for Nazi Germany were now being given a pass or like escaping justice, and were now being allowed to use their intelligence that they had garnered there for the advancement of American technology and things like that, which, you know, in my opinion is pretty shitty. I'm really upset that I was rooting for Von Braun because I didn't know that he was that person, because everything that he was saying now was like, yeah, I agree with this. Like, he was like, oh, I feel really bad that my rocket was used as a weapon and I never wanted it to be used as a weapon again. And so he was opposing the military base on the moon because then advancement of technology, which is like, to me, it's like space should be like what Star Trek says, right? You know, like it should be adventure, exploration, trying to peacefully find a way to discover what's out there versus as a way to further advance any country's military prowess in any direction, you know? So I bought it, you know? I bought what Von Braun was selling, and that's frustrating because I very much am like for people like, here's the thing. It seems like whenever you watch things, scientists are always upset at the idea of the moral restrictions on experiments, right? So I was happy to see a scientist who seemed to be saying that it's good to have moral restrictions on what you're willing to do, where you're willing to stop, what you don't want your ideas and technology to be used for. So it's really frustrating to see that was a lie and that he knew the whole time the horrific things that were happening to advance his technology, and that he was willing, sorry, it upsets me, that he was willing to let those horrible things happen to real fucking people because it was worth it to him. Like, I will never understand that mindset. I'll never understand it, you know? And I think it's equally, maybe not equally, but it's also supremely fucked up that these people in Congress, right? They knew about Operation Paperclip. They knew where Von Braun came from. They knew his past. They knew the horrific war crimes that he was a part of. They knew all of that for this whole fucking time. And they did not give a shit because he was helping them. The only reason that they exposed him is because he was no longer willing to toe the company line, right? So it's not that the people in Congress gave a shit about the victims of the Holocaust. It's not that they cared and that they were outraged at the fact that this man was allowed to escape justice. They only cared about furthering their own agenda, which just proves how fucking shitty all of them are too. I'm sorry. It's just so upsetting because, like, they don't care. They don't care. And, like, I don't know how, even if it's not real, it's still real, you know? So that's the fact that we, the United States, were willing to accept people like that to further the space program and let them escape justice for the crimes they committed. It's just so fucked up. Like, I'm sorry, you guys. Do you ever get, like, angry cries? Because that's just where I am right now. And I'm so mad at myself because my lack of knowledge of history, of this particular aspect of history, at least in-depth knowledge, it let me fall for it, and it's just so upsetting because he seemed like a nice guy, you know? He seemed like a nice guy, and yet he was a part of one of the biggest atrocities in human history, you know? So, to move on from that, regardless, I'm still very proud of Ed for being willing to take the fall and for being willing to be like, it's on me, because I could have landed. Like, yeah, I said NASA didn't have the guts. They told me not to land, but I knew I could, and I chose not to. So that's on me. Like, I really like Ed. And I'm very scared that Ed is going to be a real person, and then I'm going to find out that he was shitty at some point as well. But I don't know. I mean, I know that, you know, obviously Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, all that. Like, I know that they're real. I know all of that, like, you know, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Although I guess he didn't say that in this because we were the second. I don't know. But, like, I know that some of the people are real, but I don't know who's real and who's not real. So I don't know, like, what we're following, you know? So, yeah. I really didn't expect for that trial to happen, and I didn't, or not trial, for that hearing to happen, and for them to do it the way that they did it, because again, it's not about them giving a shit about his crimes. It's about them giving a shit about the fact that he now won't comply with what they want him to do. So now they think he's deserving of getting rid of. Which, like, you shouldn't have fucking given him the opportunity in the first place. There are other intelligent people. There are smart, intelligent scientists who aren't pieces of shit, who didn't have to do with horrific atrocities and fucking mass murder. Sorry. I didn't expect the show to make me so upset because I don't know. Speaking of characters I don't like, I'm not really a fan of Gordo at the moment. I don't know. I don't like cheaters. I don't think that there's ever really an excuse to cheat on somebody. If you are done with the relationship, leave. He was a man during this time, therefore he had the ability to leave. Like, women did, but to a much lesser extent, right? So I don't know. I think that's shitty. I liked Tracy at the end when the first woman, Anastasia Belikova, maybe? Belikova? I think that's what I wrote down. My handwriting was like, so who knows? But when she landed and she was the first woman on the moon, the Russian cosmonaut, I liked Tracy's reaction. Like, she was happy, which I think that hopefully we'll see throughout the show, maybe Tracy realizing that she has other options than just to stay, which again, I think it's very easy from a modern perspective in the year 2024 to say, you know, she has the ability to leave, but this is 1969. So her ability to leave is much more limited than it would be today, which is shitty, but it's just a fact. I also didn't love the conversation with Karen, which, the thing is, I understand where Karen's coming from, but what I really didn't like in that conversation was her like, do you love him? Because it's like, of course she still loves him. There's a reason she married him and had 2 kids with him. That doesn't excuse what he did, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to work out, right? Because you can love someone who isn't good for you. You can love someone who isn't the person for you and isn't going to be that person for you. Like, that doesn't mean that you can't love them and that you can't care for them. It just means that maybe they're not the best match for you. But that has nothing to do with love, you know? So I don't know. I feel like it was just an oversimplification of everything in that moment. So that was frustrating. Again, I understand that Karen is also coming from like a mindset of a woman in 1969, right? So that's what I have to remind myself when I'm watching the show a lot. Like when that one guy was asking Margot about her wanting to have kids, and she's like, yeah, I don't think it's in the cards for me. I think she probably doesn't want kids, but maybe she didn't feel comfortable saying that. And then he was like, yeah, not every woman's cut out to have kids, which makes it seem like there's something deficient in her because she doesn't want to be a mother, which obviously I have a huge problem with. But again, I try to remind myself, 1969 sentiments. The problem is that we exist in the year 2024 as of filming this, and people still have those sentiments. So I really like Aleda so far, and Octavio. So I'm really curious as to where her story is going to go. It seems obvious that she's going to end up being an astronaut or involved in the space program to some extent. And I'm really excited to see it because I think that she also seemed to be very motivated and like inspired by Anastasia. So yeah, I think that's cool. I enjoy that, and I enjoy seeing her story. I feel I feel so bad for her because she lost her mother and she had to move to an entirely different country, entirely different language. And then like she's expected to just somehow adjust to that and like be normal, you know? Like there's no way. She's so young. It's such a big adjustment. Like I didn't want to leave my school or my city when I was that age, let alone my entire country, everything I knew, my culture, my language, and like lose her mom on top of all of that. Like I feel like the fact that she's only setting small fires is like she's well adjusted. You know? Is it just me? Like I feel like that's a good sign for her. Also proud of Margot for her promotion. The one guy from the last episode, I can't remember his name, but the one that like was wrong about the thing and then she was right about it, he seems to resent the fact that she's like in the main room now. But I think it's just because he's bad at his job and she's not, and he's jealous and he's upset that she is going to be better than him. That's just the way I take it. I really like Margot though so far, and I can't wait to see more of her. I'm also really glad that we have Ed back on Apollo 15 and he's back at NASA and he's going to do good things. I hope that my lack of knowledge is not a hindrance here because I really like Ed and I think that he's a good guy. So I hope that is a correct assumption. But I'm excited to see him back and to see where the show goes from here and like the trajectory of just the race for the base, as they call it, which is completely horrifying. I've already stated my opposition to that and the idea that we would put a military outpost on the moon. So I'm not going to repeat myself. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I think that's all that I have to say. If you are interested in watching the next episode right now, you can over on Patreon, which is linked in the description down below. Excuse me. While you're over there, you can also watch my entire full-length reaction to this episode and all the episodes so far, both of them, I guess, of For All Mankind. Yeah, I hope to see you guys over there, and until then, or until next time, bye guys.